Hey guys, welcome back to another video with Nathan's Detailing. My name is John. We're going to be going over this beautiful Lincoln Aviator today, this Aviator Reserve that came into the shop. This is an all-wheel drive model. It's the first one we've had in, and it marks a new step in a new direction for Lincoln with their SUVs, kind of starting with the Navigator and now moving down market to vehicles like this. Some of you may remember from the last video I was in, I'm a really big fan of Cadillac. I am biased towards this car, very heavily so. I've been a huge Cadillac V-Series fan since I was a kid. Historically, Lincoln and Cadillac have actually been very big rivals, so I'm going to try to be as unbiased as possible with this review because it is a really good car. Psst, get in here. What people don't really know is, and this is going to kind of out me as a total hypocrite and a fraud, is that I drive a Lincoln. So let's keep that on the down low for now, just leave it where it lies. So the color of this particular Aviator is called Flight Blue Metallic. It's kind of nice, it's kind of like a slate gray, but it does really blend nice with the chrome, and there is a lot of chrome on this vehicle. Chrome's kind of on its way out, but Lincoln's always been associated with chrome, and they call it quiet luxury, so I think it kind of matches the car. The side view profile is actually pretty nice. It's got a nice sloping roof line down the side, and you can see that as you look down. It kind of compromises headroom in the third row a little bit, but stylistically, it's a nice addition. The tires that we have are wrapped around 20-inch rims, so this is actually the smallest rim that you can get on the Aviator. And back in the day, that was considered a huge rim, but today, that's the smallest one you can get. You can also get 22s. The Lincoln Aviator rides just like it did back in the early 2000s in its initial run. Back then, it was a body-on-frame, rear-wheel drive platform with four-wheel drive capability. For this generation, after almost 15 years, it's now on a unibody rear-wheel drive chassis called the CD6. You can get it in rear-wheel drive, or you can also get it in all-wheel drive, and it comes with two engines. The first of which is a twin-turbocharged. This Aviator comes with two different engines, both of them V6s, but both of them have different power deliveries. The one that we have here today is a twin-turbocharged 3-liter EcoBoost V6, has 400 horsepower and 415 pound-feet of torque, which makes this one of the most powerful Lincolns ever made. The most powerful Lincoln ever made actually is this car with the optional engine, which is the same motor, but it has an electric motor too. It's a hybrid system. Makes 494 horsepower and 630 pound-feet of torque. Let's pop the hood and see what it looks like underneath. You can see it's got the strut-to-strut tower brace here, which is nice, keeps it the chassis more level when it's cornering. It's nice because it kind of avoids the messy Ford plastic that we're very accustomed to seeing, especially on the Raptor. You see those big black tubes that come over the side, the engine covers. This avoids all of that. What you see underneath here is just the straight engine, and it does look pretty neat. Whether it's the twin-turbo V6 without the hybrid or the hybrid system, they both come with a 10-speed automatic. If you're on the highway, it can go all the way up to 10th gear at pretty low speeds, but it also offers pretty decent fuel economy on the highway. The numbers are 17 miles per gallon city, 24 highway, and 20 combined, which not the best, but for a big 5,000-pound SUV like this, that's really not too bad. They definitely are trying to go with a younger client base here. I think to an extent they do, but the question is going to be, do they really differentiate it enough on the interior to make it worth the price premium over the Ford Explorer? We're going to find that out here in a minute. The best way that we can continue to bring you this really good content with Nathan, Mike, myself, and the rest of the team is for you to like and subscribe to these videos. If you have any kind of questions, if you own this car, if you want to sound off about it, you can always reach out on our comments section and leave your thoughts there. We'd be happy to chat with you. All right, so now here we are inside. First impressions are good. Coming along the dash here is this nice beige leather. And the stitching is really good too. Everything looks high quality, feels good. Got a little bit of padding to it. I would like a little bit more, like let's say Cadillac puts in theirs, but when they're not in the same league, so that's okay. One definite positive is this wood. So it's hard to see in here because it's a little bit dark, but there's a really nice open pore wood. There's no glossy finish on here. It feels real because it is. Everything fits in very nicely. There's no big gaps. It feels a lot like the European competition that you would get with BMW or Audi or Mercedes. Wouldn't say it's as good as Cadillac, but it's getting there. They'll get there with time. Maybe. I'm gonna have to cut that too. When you first start the vehicle and you hit the start button, There's a really nice animation both on the infotainment screen as well as the instrument cluster. And there's that flight sequence where you can see the clouds in the sky really playing into the aviation theme. And I do like that. It's a nice touch. The other thing that is nice but really looks a little dated already is the instrument cluster. Obviously the definition is pretty good. It is fully digital, which is nice. I mean, you have to have a fully digital cluster if you want to compete with all the other players in the luxury segment. But it just doesn't look as high definition. It's small. It just seems like it's a generation behind. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but for a vehicle that's only been out for 3 model years, I would like if they had a little bit, maybe a refresh or something that gives a more prominent, a larger display. Maybe you can get a virtual map like Audi does, or Cadillac actually for that matter. Man, they keep coming up, but you know, the comparison is only natural. What's really nice too in terms of materials, this is arguably one of the best solutions for anti-piano black plastic we've ever seen. And there goes my microphone. This is fantastic. It is not piano black. I'm not really sure what material it is, but it feels like a metal almost. And doesn't matter how often you touch it, you don't get fingerprints on it, which is brilliant. So as much as I have to swallow my pride, I have to say this is a fantastic solution. Another really cool thing about the Lincoln series today are the seats. These seats are actually really nice. They are very comfortable. This particular Lincoln in the Reserve does not come with the 30-way power adjustable seats that are widely known to be some of the best in the industry. They're terrific. I've sat in them in the Navigator before, but this particular Lincoln Aviator was not optioned with it. Even without it, the seats are really comfortable, and they are memory adjustable, so you can set your driver's presets for number 1, 2, and 3 if you have 3 different drivers. And then there's also various apps that you can use. There's mobile apps like Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, as well as Sirius XM TravelLink, and lots of different settings to go through with the clock. You have driver assistance features. So for example, if we go into driver assistance, we have cruise control, lane keep assist, pre-collision assist. There's lots of different systems to help keep you and your family safe. Vehicle settings up here in the top portion. These are just like your general vehicle settings if you want to adjust how long the car runs when you use remote start. If you want the vehicle to lower using the optional air suspension, which this has. It's just lots of nice ways that you can adjust everything about the vehicle to fit your personal preferences. So now moving to the back seat of the Lincoln, it actually is pretty spacious back in here. This one comes with the captain's chairs option, so as you can see, there's no middle seat, but you can get that as an option for no additional cost. In place of the center seat, they have this cup holder here. It's this plastic piece, kind of just bolted to the transmission tunnel here, but is a nice spot for your cups. It's just going to be kind of tedious if you're trying to climb through the middle. So when you get into the back, wow, that's hard to push back. Jeez, either that or I'm a complete wimp. Probably both. When you're sitting in the back seats, actually it's moderately comfortable. It's kind of firm, but it's not overly firm. Despite this beautiful panoramic glass roof, which is really, really nice. My head is almost touching the top. Now, part of it is I didn't really comb my hair this morning, so that doesn't help. But my head is, I'm 5'10" and a half or so. You'd think that there would be a way to lower these seats or something so that average sized people wouldn't be hitting their head on the top, but I guess it's just gonna be something you have to deal with. I did sit in the back seat, and for the sake of the small sliver of dignity that I have left, I'm not going to climb back there, but painful. You have any kids, you can put the kiddos in the back, they'll be relatively pleased, but I wouldn't climb in there if you're an adult unless you have a good doctor. The other nice thing that we have in here is this little screen back here. It's not really an afterthought, it's kind of a nice touch. This has the Equipment 201A package, so it gets heated seats, and I believe they're cooled seats too. Yeah, they are, look at that. So you can have heated back seats or cooled back seats. Both of these captain's chairs can get them. Also, you have your own audio controls, which can be locked out from the front, and your own climate controls, which can again be locked out from the front, but you're taken care of in the back seat of Lincoln, which is really nice. All right, time for our driving portion of the review. We're gonna take it out on the roads here in the Cleveland area and see how it drives. I'm gonna change the drive mode here really quick. I'm gonna put it in normal. I'm gonna do a nice, like, comfortable ride. Feed her the onions here. Wow, I don't want to like this naturally, but the power is really, really good. From twin turbos, 400 horsepower, 415 pound-feet of torque. For a big SUV that's 5,000 pounds, really fast. It rides really, really well. And part of that is because it has active air suspension. I believe Lincoln calls it air glide.
So it's got air suspension in all four corners, so it rides really, really smooth. So sport mode makes the suspension a little bit firmer, tightens up the steering a little bit, and you can notice it, believe it or not. And if you want to, you can always use your paddle shifters. If it's not shifting fast enough for you, you want to drop a gear, you can do that yourself. For an SUV, this is awesome. Perfect passing power, rides really nice, the seats are comfortable, the steering is nice.
Thanks again, guys, for watching, and we will see you right here next time.